Invading the internet, covering Web 2.0, coast to coast, worldwide, and everywhere in between. This is where you put the social in social media. We are Social Blade.
Yes, we are definitely Social Blade. We are the Social Hat Show today, based upon what you can see on the screen. I being the only one who didn't actually have a hat, so we are digitizing my hat. Everyone else remembered their hat for Social Blade Hat Day, so I'm just gonna have to move around and see if technology can keep up with my big, large head. This is Social Blade Show, and I am JD Rucker.
I'm Aaron Ryan.
I'm Jason Ergo.
And I'm Jeff
I'm
Crowder.
Mike Stinger.
And we got Mike Stinger.
Yep.
And that's Jeff, who I just interrupted.
We got Jeff, we got Mike, we got Ergo, we've got Aaron, we've got JD, and we have hats, lots and lots of hats. We also have social media goodness in the boatloads. I mean, it's just I'm here in New York City right now, doing the Social Blade tour. We'll be performing at the Met tonight, and they are actually bringing in social media goodness in boats on the Hudson River as we speak. So
Are you doing security with the NYPD? Is that what the hat's about?
I have to be. This is no the way that we figured it. If I kind of blend in with them, with the police, then I'll be able to actually get backstage to see the real talent. So that's the attempt. That's the attempt. I heard that Aaron Ryan was going to be performing in Broadway, so we're shooting for it.
That's right.
As you all
Off to
heard,
races.
and as you probably see, based upon your windows, you will notice that there is with us right now someone who has a pink hat. This someone is Mike Stinger. Mike Stinger, Stunger. I'll let him correct the pronunciation of his name when it gets to his time. But I can assure you, based upon the research that we've done and the actual meetings that our very own Jeff Crowder Jr. has been able to have with him, he knows his stuff with social media. So we're going to give him that opportunity to prove it, since we obviously know our stuff and you know your stuff. So we'll be testing on Mike tonight. Yeah, let's jump right into it because it was a jam-packed week of social media, specifically with knowing where you are. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me grab my phone. I'll be right back. I got to go check into Foursquare, Gowalla, and Brightkite. Jeff, why don't you take it away while I grab my phone?
Well, as JD's doing that, I'm going to talk about a group of software testers who decided to pit the three most popular LBS, location-based services, against each other, which would be Foursquare, Gowalla, and Brightkite. They tested and rewarded a grade of either good, better, or best to 6 different features, which are ease of use, location accuracy, opportunity to gain deals or to earn deals, status features, friend connectivity, and social media integration. Foursquare scored the best for all the features but one, which is location accuracy, which is something that I agree with. Foursquare definitely needs to improve upon that. Gowalla was a solid second place, while Brightkite was the obvious weaker of the three. They also found and revealed the number of bugs which were found in each of the LBS. Foursquare had 177, Gowalla had 316, and Brightkite had 377 bugs. So, Ergo, as someone who uses LBS, particularly Foursquare as much as I do, would you agree with what they came up with?
Well, I've never actually used Brightkite. I've definitely have used Foursquare and Gowalla, and I use those pretty regularly. And I think I definitely would agree. Especially adding locations is definitely a lot easier, I think, with Gowalla. But in terms of mass use, I really do like Foursquare a lot better, just for some reason. Maybe it's because more people use it. I don't know. And the way that they have mayors and handle everything. But yeah, I don't know. Do you even use Brightkite?
Yeah.
What's the deal with
I
that?
don't. I've used Gowalla a little bit, but Foursquare is what I use a lot.
Yeah.
But I agree with the location accuracy. I think that's one of the major.
I don't know. I don't think I've really had that many problems.
You get some
I've
people
had
who just check into no man's land and put a location.
True.
And then it's stuck, and then you have you're at the location, but the Foursquare
That's true.
checkpoint is 1,000 meters
Yeah.
to
That is
direct.
true, but I mean that falls in the terms of someone added the wrong location. They're supposed to go online and edit it to go to the right place. And there are actually I've had some experience with this. Well, what I recommend, at least in those situations, are go ahead and just create another venue where it's supposed to be. And then there's forums. They use, I think, Get Satisfaction for the support, and there's forums on there where you can request them to merge venues. So if there's an incorrect location, just create the right one and then post the two on there, and they can merge it to put the right one there for you.
What I've also found, though,
Sure.
if you're on your phone, you click places, the place you're actually currently located in doesn't always show up. You actually have to search for it.
Well, that might only be if it's either got the wrong geolocation for you or the place is located at the wrong location.
Yeah, that's basically the only gripes I have with it.
Yeah. I don't actually even
just,
use Foursquare directly now unless I have to add a place. I use check.in. It's just an HTML5 application, and it lets me check into Foursquare, Gowalla, and a local one. In the Raleigh area here, there's a service called Tryout that I use as well. So I check in all three all at once with that.
I did a test just now on Foursquare, and keeping note, I'm like right outside of JFK at a Marriott hotel, and according to Foursquare, there are no nearby venues.
Well, you're inside a hotel.
That's the biggest problem I have with it.
No, hold on. I think I know why that happened. You're inside a hotel. It
Fail.
probably didn't get a geolock on you.
Well,
It's the
so you
GPS
just-
isn't working inside the concrete there, and it probably I don't know. It should have at least done the triangulation from the cell towers. So it is kind of a little weird, but that's the reason.
Yeah, just go out and stand on the roof.
Yes.
Just hold your
Yeah.
phone out there. And
So, Mike,
Right.
what do you think? Do you
You found me.
use Foursquare?
Actually, I used
Gowalla,
Foursquare just a few times, but for me, I really don't see the great thing about using Foursquare and telling people, every place I'm at. I'm at the gas station, because I see a lot of people just posting nonstop, and that their whole like Twitter feed, everything is Foursquare or them checking in somewhere. But I don't really see the need to check in that much. I think it should be used in moderation, but that's me.
I'm with you, and then down some. I believe in not checking in whatsoever.
Gasp.
I don't like location-based anything. I
As-
don't like telling people where I am at any time.
Yeah, as I always have to say whenever we talk about this, I definitely don't ever recommend checking in from your home. That's the one place I won't check in from.
I don't know how many times I've seen that too, and oh gosh.
JD likes checking in from other people's homes.
Anytime I'm driving
He
by,
wants to be the mayor.
So I drive by, and if I'm on the road and I do a search to see what the local area is, because sometimes I have done this in the past where it's like, where do you want to eat, honey? Well, let's just check Foursquare, and then we'll click on it and look for venues that are close by via my Foursquare locator. But anytime I see somebody put home or house or anything like that, or my place, I like to check in there because that'll freak them out. And I like to tell them stuff such as, "Hey, you're out of butter." So let them know that I've been there. I've been inside your home. I'm there right now. Inside your home.
Yeah. I left a tip last night on someone's home that said, "I checked the refrigerator. You're out of milk."
Yes,
Hey,
he did.
That's sorry.
Sorry about clogging up the upstairs one. It happens. It
Yeah.
happens. Cool. Well, yeah, and I've never been myself. I've never been a big fan of it. I am doing it now, and I'm doing it very, very begrudgingly, just because I have a feeling that it is going to get too big to ignore in the future. So, despite my own moral and the whole concept of letting people know, hey, I'm not home. I got computers and televisions and a nice expensive dog at the house. So if you want to go there, I'm not there. I'm over here. I'm not crazy about that or any of the hordes of both of my stalkers following me. But it's okay. But I do think that it does have a future, and that's why That's why I'm willing to give it a shot. But then again, the last time that I thought something had a future, I gave it a shot, and that was MySpace. Um,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
we know what's happening with that one. But I have a feeling that Facebook might be heading in the same direction. I don't know. What do you think, Ergo?
That's kind of what the word on the street has been for a while now, especially with recent events here. But I mean, over the past several years. Okay, well, just general history. You know, Facebook started. I can't remember the year, but it was, I want to say, around like 2004, with it just being for schools, and then they opened the doors to the general public. And this was way before applications, anything like that. It was all very professional, standard layouts and everything. And sort of the reason people liked it so much over MySpace was when you go to MySpace, it looked like a GeoCities webpage where you could have all these backgrounds and music playing and all sorts of things like that. And it really looked childish, if you will. Now, now that's sort of a little bit of what's happening with Facebook here. You got all these applications running crazy. One of the big things is there's rogue applications now. If you've ever seen random posts on your wall, or if you've gotten emails, check out my pictures, and then when you click on the link, it brings you to a page that looks like a Facebook page, but it really is a phishing site where someone's trying to steal your username and password. So what those then do is they replicate and they send out messages to everyone else on your Facebook there. And then again, you got all these other applications still running and inviting you to join your mob, go hunt for zombies. Broadcasting by default instead of making you opt in by default instead of opting out. So basically everything you do is public. That's one of the things originally Facebook wasn't doing, where you sort of had your own private world here, but like on MySpace, everything was public by default, and that's sort of what Facebook is doing here as well, to open up the world so everyone can see what all your updates are. And lastly, also, just the paradigm of friendship here. On Facebook, you kind of feel obligated, at least a little bit here, to just accept friendship from everyone that sends you a friend request. And, you in real life, you might not really be friends with all the people from your high school class or your elementary school class. But if you get a friend request on here, you feel a little obligated just to accept them there. And if you don't accept them, you could hurt someone's feelings or something like that. And that's sort of back to what happened on MySpace as well. So I don't know. And then lastly, also, I forgot about this one. Just professional life. It's now employers are going to your Facebook page before you get accepted, or even before you get an interview for a job, to see what you're doing on there, to see if you have all sorts of pictures of going out partying, or if you have just professional pictures there, just to get a feel of what type of employee you might be. So I don't know. What do you guys think here?
I will reserve my statement on that to the very, very end. Unless it is
I will say...
Go ahead, Aaron.
I'm going to say Facebook will never be MySpace. And I know that probably sounds naive, because at the time when MySpace was popular, people would be like, this is never going to fail. But I don't think Facebook will allow as much control to the user as MySpace has. I don't think that's ever going to happen. In fact, they've even tried to derail some of the current controls that users have. So I think that it's never going to be a MySpace issue.
Yeah, and I think Facebook is too intertwined with what else is going on in the web. I mean, they've done a pretty good job of making sure, when you have an article, you either Facebook share it, or you tweet it, or you dig it. And they're just, I think it's just too intertwined now.
Wow.
Yeah. To me, I think for Facebook to just become the next MySpace, I think it's going to take an awful lot to for their user base to go down and for people to leave and all this stuff. Like Jeff said, I mean, Facebook is pretty much everywhere. I forget how many thousands and thousands of sites are using Facebook plugins and the new like buttons and all that stuff. And so yeah, it'll be a while for anything serious to happen, if anything will.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could possibly derail Facebook or force Facebook to change is, with Twitter getting more popular and certain social platforms that are more fast-paced and more conversational, such as Twitter, I think it'll force Facebook probably in the future to have to change, because I think I kind of found myself using Twitter a lot recently, being quicker and more fast-paced on Facebook, and I kind of have to catch myself because Facebook is definitely a much slower platform.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I use Twitter like way more than Facebook, but I use Facebook too. But yeah, I got you.
Yeah, no, just one thing Pat mentioned in the room here. Colleges apparently are using Facebook as well to check on applicants.
Yeah, and what also was really interesting is I was able to integrate Facebook into our grading system at school. So I would have a Facebook app and be able to check all my grades at the university through Facebook. So universities are definitely integrating it now too. Yeah.
Huh. It's crazy. JD, so what are your thoughts?
So I'd written an article that said that Facebook is going to get bigger than MySpace. It will surpass it by far, and it will slowly but surely start to erode its privacy, the strengths, the things that make it to where it's a little bit more of a closed network. They're going to erase those privacy concerns, because from a business perspective, it makes sense to be more open, to have as many pages as possible indexed by search engines, to have it to where people are going to be much more open with their information by default, and to where they'd have to actually make an effort to change this, to change to where they're more private. And I was laughed at and ridiculed. Keep in mind that I wrote this article back in 2008, early 2008, and I was laughed at and ridiculed. Later that year, I said, a few months later, I said Twitter is going to emerge. Back then, Twitter was one of them. There was a Pounce. There were Jaiku or Haiku or however you pronounce it. Blah blah blah. I said that. I wrote my analysis about that. I said that Twitter was going to be emerge as the winner, because what it does is a lot less than what the others do, and that's what's so beautiful and brilliant about it. All of that is just going to precede what I'm about to say, because it's going to be pretty crazy, and all four of you are probably going to pounce on me. Ergo's got his finger on the kick his butt out of the room button right now. He's going to throw me out because I'm about to say something that's radical. Facebook will, in my opinion, become like MySpace within the next 6 months. And by becoming like MySpace, hear me out, Facebook will open up its customization aspects on pages, not necessarily on profiles like MySpace did, but on pages, because their goal is not, they've got these wonderful, brilliant, just pie in the sky dreams and ambitions. In Facebook's plan, and in Zuck's mind, Mark Zuckerberg's brilliant yet somehow just kind of off kilter by a few centimeters mind, they envision Facebook being the source for all business. In other words, you don't need a website, Mr. Mid-sized company, Mr. Small Business owner. You just need a professional, corporate, customized Facebook page. The whole idea of Facebook fans, that they took away the fan page. That's the beginning, so to speak. Okay, you don't fan. There's no such thing as, people don't go out in the real world and say, I'm a big fan of Bob's Barbershop. They say, where do you go? Oh, I like going to Bob's Barbershop. That's where I like to go. I like to go to Bob's. And there's no fan pages. It's just your page. You can have a business page. You can have a consumer page. Blah 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 blah. All these different things. Point being is that market today on June 17th, 2010, I'm saying that within 6 months, Facebook will have customization on par with what MySpace had allowed back in 2006, 2007. And it's for a business reason, and it will be both the launch into the stratosphere of Facebook and the potential crash and burn by 2012 of Facebook. And what now? I have no idea which way that's going to go. It could be great, could be awful. Who knows? Um, I mean, I think I know, but I'm not gonna bust that out. So, anyway, today's show is brought to you by Bob's Barbershop in Muskogee. Get your hairs cut at Bob's. No, seriously though, today's show is brought to you by HotHardware.com. For those of you who follow the show for the years, we're getting into the years and millenniums here. This being show number 46, I believe. Right, Ergo?
It is 45. Close, though.
45. This being show number 45. Our good friend, pal, cohort, and just an amazing overall human being in general, David Altavilla, out in the Boston area, has and how do I know that? Because he checked in on Foursquare. Anyway, so he has a site called HotHardware.com. Now, Hot Hardware, as you can see on the screen, talks about things. And it doesn't just talk about them. It actually goes in depth. As you can see in here, we're looking at this mobile phone right now. I'm about to move on from my old and antiquated G1. I got to find me another Android phone. And so I am literally going to be visiting Hot Hardware this weekend to decide which one I'm going to get for me, which one fits for my wife, and actually which one fits for my boss. I've even got my boss going to hothardware.com now to check it out and find the hottest tech, reviews, tests, opinions, and comparisons. And so I would recommend to you, regardless of what your goal in life is, whatever your goal in your gadget life, I should say, go to hothardware.com. They do not do
just in general, JD, just in general, for any Android users, I highly recommend you go check out this article that I'm looking at right here on Hot Hardware, because this swipe application is awesome. I got it on my phone, so check it out. Read the article. It's cool.
For those who don't know Ergo very well, for Ergo to say that something is awesome, Ergo is one of those people where he does not give kudos out until there's a humongous vetting period. In other words, he's sure that if he's putting his name behind something, that he's checked it out. So for him and Hot Hardware to agree on that, that in itself is better than any of the mumbo jumbo I could say. So Jason's going to be doing the Hot Hardware promo every week now. I'm going to stick with Bob's. You guys like my haircut? I got it at Bob's. Wonderful
It's
stuff.
true, though. You're right.
Looks great.
Judy, because, I mean, he doesn't even know if he likes his dog yet. So, I'm kidding.
I know,
Ergo.
he's still contemplating, well, then I could always eat him later.
I still have a month to bring him back. Yeah.
There is a puppy return policy, so we'll see.
So,
no, but that is exactly why we love Jason, because in so many ways he and I complement each other because we are exact opposites. I go through and I jump on instinct. He goes through and jumps on fact.
yes.
Yet we still ended up with the exact same espresso machine. We also ended up loving.
And JD, one other thing, I knew all these facts about Facebook here, but there's a whole bunch of Facebook facts that we probably didn't know about. You want to talk about those?
He just does beautiful. I love you, man. See, I was going to say we're also big Android fans. He's like I just planted you like a little soft pitch segue directly into your story, and you just ruined it. No.
Pretty much.
So yes,
Good job.
We had our first. We are pleased, happy, and very thankful to have had our very first socialblade.com/show, their first blog front page story on Dig. Had a nice massive traffic. We ended up with 1,300 digs and several, lots of shares, lots of tweets. It was very good. We were pleased with the response from it, but mostly we're pleased with the amazing data. So I'm going to go through some of this stuff. The whole idea is that most people know Facebook, but there's some things about Facebook that you probably didn't know. So if Facebook does go south, and in 2014 we're we're talking about, hey, you remember the days that Facebook thing? Then you'll have all of these trivia question answers ready to go. For example, did you know that 70% of Facebook users live outside of the United States? So in other words, Aaron and Amanda are not the only ones on Facebook in Canada. There's probably a few others. Did
There's
you
like
know?
five, six.
There's 8. Don't forget. Did you know that 44.1% of Denmark has an active Facebook profile? The Denmarkies are hooked. They absolutely love it, and that's you know, I don't know what that indicates about Denmark, whether they have too much time on their hands or it's just cold weather and they like to stay in. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to Facebook goes Dutch. This is one that I totally didn't know. Facebook was one of the originally bankrolled by the co-founder of PayPal. So those who know of PayPal, that was a company that's been around for quite a while. It actually started, I believe, in Palo Alto, and that gentleman, I forgot his name, but he bankrolled Facebook for $500,000.
Peter Thiel.
You guys saw the infographic. Is there anything on here that stuck out for you? That's like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Well, just the one you just mentioned there. I mean, I was aware. I've known that for a while, but that is kind of a fact that I thought most people probably weren't aware of, being bankrolled by PayPal. So.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. We Jason, just assume that we know that you knew all of these facts already. Other than Jason. How much?
I also in the comments I saw when I was looking at it earlier today, I saw that someone mentioned that last month Facebook beat Google, and I wasn't sure if it was page visits or page views.
I think it was search.
It's page referrals, is what it is.
Page referral, yeah, yeah.
Technically speaking,
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, technically speaking, Facebook sends more people to more sites than Google. It's not that it sends more traffic. There's a big distinction there, but it is still, regardless, it's amazing. It did bypass. It did shoot right past YouTube, which has been number 2 for a while, ever since they passed Yahoo. So yeah, no, people are going on there, spending a lot more time on Facebook than they are anywhere else, and they're visiting sites as a result. The reason, because these are vetted sites. These are sites that theoretically are being presented to them by either their friend or somebody who's hacked their friend's page, and now they're trying to hack your page.
Right, which is what I was referring to with those rogue applications.
Yes. So don't go rogue. Be very careful. And this is not just true for Facebook. This is MySpace. This is Twitter. Any site. When you're clicking on links, you should always be very careful. Try to click on the links of the people that you know. Luckily, Twitter does have technically speaking, they're working on putting out their own shortener that is going to be doing some of the vetting of the links themselves, which I think is brilliant. I'm sure Facebook will follow suit, and hopefully we'll have a more secure web. But then, of course, at that point, the people that are evil out there will find ways to get around even that. So who knows? Aaron, I'm shocked you haven't spoken up and told me what amazing fact you learned from this awesome infographic.
Yeah, no, I've definitely learned a lot, and with Facebook, they always love to throw you a surprise or things that you don't know about Facebook. It was very, very interesting to me, and yeah, I was shocked about the PayPal. I didn't know they bankrolled it. I had no idea. That was awesome to learn, and the amount of people outside of the U.S. that was pretty shocking too. I thought the U.S. owned everything. Oh.
Well, I mean, just if the whole world is joining Facebook, that one's not that shocking because, I mean, the U.S. there's a lot of people here, but there's a lot of people outside of the U.S. too.
we're still
Right.
The U.S. is about 6% of the world population, 5%, something like that. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
so-
the average number of Facebook fans was really low.
Do the math.
200
We have like 300 million or so people here, and there's like 6.8 or so billion in the world, so we're not
So
that
that'd
many.
be 4.2. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. It definitely is low. I would have expected it to be higher on as an average. Not that everybody has, because I think it was either Facebook or Twitter that said that the average person should only have 200 friends, period. So
Yeah.
you'd think the average would be higher than that, based around the people that go through and do a lot of addition, adding people and marketers, multiple accounts, blah blah blah. But yeah, it was pretty low from a friend perspective. You'd think friends and then friends of friends. You figure most people are willing to go three
Degrees of
down,
separation.
3 degrees of separation, which should bring it to about 200, 250. And so that was a low amount. But then again, that also does take into account the person that hops on there, doesn't get any friends, and then never returns to Facebook again.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's an average.
Mhm.
But it's okay. So yeah, if you
Yeah,
guys,
same thing with on Twitter too. A lot of people hop on there and then just stop using it.
I would imagine that it happens more on Twitter than Facebook. Facebook is a little bit more of an addiction, more of a hook. Not because it's better or worse necessarily, just because your friends. There's more of that. Hey, did you look at Did you see that picture from the party last week? I put it on my Facebook page. So there's more enticements in the real world that are forcing people to return. Whereas, oh man, did you see my tweet? What? My tweet, man. Did you
That's
see my
true.
tweet? No.
That's true. It seems there's more like there seems to be more of an internet friendship like on Twitter than there is on Facebook, even though that's starting to change as well. But yeah, I would agree. Facebook is more like family, offline. I don't like using real life friends, but offline friends that you would participate with would be more like on Twitter than Facebook. I see that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So definitely go to socialblade.com/show for full. We found this on. I actually found this particular one. It was on online
schools. Yeah.
But then when I went for a better version of it, I found that it was actually created by, I guess, or it was commissioned by a subsidiary of online schools called onlinephdprograms.org. And this was actually posted in Mashable. And so I didn't get it from Mashable, but Mashable was I believe they were the ones that actually commissioned to have it created. So hat tip to Mashable, inadvertently, and then definitely thank you to onlineschools.org and onlinePhDprogram.com. Check it out at socialblade.com/show, and it's just some neat information, some good stuff. I like it, Aaron. I like
you like it.
I like
You said
it.
hat tip, and Jason didn't let us go back and tip our hats to Mashable. But yes, another fact you may be aware about or not aware of, a like button is going to be added to your Facebook comment sections. Let's count how many times I say like within this. If there already wasn't enough liking around Facebook from your status updates, pages, and their Open Graph API, now or soon, you will be able to look or actually like someone else's comment, rather. As of this week, Facebook began rolling out more likes that will be seen much like the button for their pages. It will be located at the end of each comment when someone responds to your status. This like feature, much like the Open Graph API for websites, will allow you to see how many people like the comments as well. Like I said, there is a lot of liking going on. Do we see a Facepile like plugin in Facebook's near future, and will we like this feature? What do you guys think?
I just liked it 4 times.
I hate it.
Yeah, how do you hate? You can only like or unlike. You can't hate.
Yeah, is it out for everyone? Because I late last night I finally it finally showed up on my Facebook, and it's been there since.
It's not out for everyone. It's just starting to roll out, so not everyone has this ability.
Yeah, and another thing about the likes I noticed too was when someone likes your comment, it also notifies you about that as well.
Yes, that's right. You'll get
notifications.
Which is different.
Which could be an issue though.
Really?
If you have email notifications and you get a lot of likes in your comments, that would kind of be annoying. But
it just means you're popular.
Well, you could turn off notifications to get emails via notifications. posts. So that's what I would do, because that would actually be really super annoying. But I think it's nice to see, because sometimes somebody will write something and it's like, oh, I was going to write something like that. And instead of even commenting, they'll just move on. And so, or just say ditto or something like that. So I think this is perfect for them to stay social and stay engaged, and just click that like button and it shows how many people like it. I'm really glad that Facebook does not have a hate button or a dislike button. I just think that people would abuse it and it would just horrible and useless. So
You mean
I'm
like a
glad we
thumbs
didn't
up,
go to
thumbs
that
down?
route.
Every day, Ergo would be pushing that
Yeah.
button 750 times a day.
Well, I
It's
think if they
true.
had a dislike button, I think it might actually even get more traction than the like button on the comments.
Yeah, but I think it would discourage people from commenting.
I don't actually
You
see
don't-
an option
What's worse
to
than
turn
getting
it
your
off.
comment disliked?
Yeah, that too.
Aaron, I don't actually see a setting that turns that off here. I could be missing it. Maybe it's one of these like comment on a post I was tagged in type of a deal. But
See, he hates it already.
no. I'm cool with the setting, but maybe they forgot.
You're
to add
not
that
able
in.
to see. Let me see here. No, that wouldn't be it. What's on a post I was tagged in? No. I don't know what you're under right now, but are you under notifications?
Yes.
Maybe they haven't updated it yet.
An option.
Hopefully
to turn
they
it off?
will, because that will be a great story to write if they don't. And another thing people will whine about in regards to Facebook. My personal opinion, I like it. I like that they are going to that direction where they're integrating websites, their Facebook pages, now comments, that you're able to like things. I'm curious, and that's what I asked you guys too, is do you think that they're going to add the FacePal plugin where underneath those likes, you won't just see numbers, you'll see faces of your friends that have liked it as well?
You mean
I
for
could definitely see
comments?
something like that.
It's not there yet. It only tells how many like it now. 'Cause
It
you
only
can-
shows numbers.
You can
Yeah.
click on it and it'll pop up a window. But here, try it. Go.
Right.
Someone go like this on this post here that Aaron did, because I liked up all the comments, but I'm the only one that liked them.
You
Let's
liked
see.
her comments?
Let's see what it looks like. Live on the air,
I'm
Temo.
gonna unlike them after the show. Don't worry, JD. Don't fret.
He never likes my stuff.
Oh, well, Pat in the room, he says he doesn't like all the liking that's going on with Facebook.
Why not?
I agree.
It
Yeah,
reminds me
Amanda says-
of a preppy high
I
school
agree.
chick.
You
I
don't
lost.
like?
Like. Oh my god.
Sorry.
You know, my biggest like pet peeve is that you can post something like a link or something like that, and then you can like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's like very uncomfortable. I always get stuck there, and I think, well, I mean, I do like it, or obviously, duh, I wouldn't have posted it, but am I gonna look like an idiot for liking my own thing? Is that gonna be like people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, he liked his own thing. He's so conceited, you know?
Is it like laughing at your own joke?
Oh,
Right,
I like all
exactly.
You know what? And I've seen that.
Exactly.
I see your point. I've seen people complain and be like, stop liking your own stuff. In my opinion, if you don't like it, why would you want anyone else to like it? That doesn't mean you have to go
Yeah,
ahead and like
But
everything
if you
that you
didn't
put
like
out
it,
there.
why would you post it in the first place?
I like everything I posted.
I like that.
Well, the thing is that no, not necessarily. People might want to strike up a controversial conversation about a post. That doesn't mean that they necessarily like what's being
But
said,
no,
but they think that
no.
that needs to be spread.
Ah,
Yeah,
not
but
even-
I'm guilty of it too. I do it. I post links and then I like it.
I do. I'll
mean,
put
just-
like.
I mean, it just shows that, I like the link. That's why I posted it.
if anybody likes their own links, I'll specifically put them on the hackers list and try to get them hacked. No,
Here's the thing, JD. Here's the thing. The point is that with the way I look at it, and perhaps Jeff looks at it the same way, but sometimes when it comes to liking stuff, it's just like whoever takes the first dance, then other people
That's
start
exactly what I was
dancing.
about to
Sometimes
say.
when
You
you
gotta
like
take the first step.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah,
Totally.
and then other people all of a sudden start liking it.
Oh, so you can
I
even
know,
like your
I
own
don't-
comments.
I was kidding about.
You
about
can always
whether-
like your own comment.
It's one of those things
Go
where
ahead. Sorry,
No,
JD.
no, no. But if you leave a comment on, okay, they just introduced the liking, but you can also like your own comments, not
I
just
don't
your own
want Jason
posts.
Argo right now. I there the like button. Jason interrupts me all the time. No, just kidding.
Sorry, JD. Go ahead.
No, I was kidding.
I'll even give you full screen on the video.
Hey, there you go.
He was having Facebook shock.
Oh wow, that's so awesome. I can see. Hopefully my family's at home watching me. Hi guys. No, it's cool. You know what? It's Facebook's gonna do what Facebook's gonna do. We're gonna like it. We're not gonna like it, but at least for the short time, it doesn't matter because everybody's gonna be still going there, using it, doing stuff on it. Whether that continues or not is based entirely on what Facebook themselves do, as well as what other people in the world do. And by other people, I'm talking about other companies, the general trends in the area. Which is why, if you are a business and you want to be ahead of the game, so to speak, you may want to consider finding yourself a coach, finding yourself someone who's out there experiencing social media, testing things out. Because if you make the wrong move, then sometimes you might mess up. And our good friend Jeff Kreider has brought us such a person. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yeah, everyone. This is Mike Stinger. He actually lives a couple miles down the road from me, and he's a social media coach. And before we kind of get things kicked off there, Mike, I would like to describe the story behind the pink hat. What's the story behind it?
What pink hat?
Exactly.
No. The thing with the pink hat, over the last year or two, like I've been to flea markets and yard sales and all this stuff, and I've just been picking up these random fuzzy hats. I have like 5 or 6 of them now, and so just pick them up. And then I was talking with a friend one day, and we were doing like a video chat like this on Skype, and he said something about the hat. I was just messing around with it, but he said, maybe you should incorporate that into your videos, into your social media profiles and stuff, and it'd be a really good a way to uniquely position myself and also brand myself better. And it's also really memorable too. So that's basically how that started, and how, yeah, that's basically it.
It's definitely your purple cow. So how long have you been into social media and utilizing it for business?
I've been, let's see, for business probably since about mid to late 2006. So I originally hopped onto MySpace, when there was the huge craze about that, and so I used it just for just keeping in touch with friends in high school and stuff like that to begin with. But then I kind of I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I just decided to that I wanted to do my own thing, run my own business, because I see all these other people around me who have these jobs and they're tied down to them, and it's just not the way that I wanted to live. So I started, with my own business in, mid to late 2006, and been doing that ever since. I started using Twitter about June, July of 2008, and that's when I also hopped into Facebook and started using those two things full time. And that's also when I left MySpace.
So one of the things that kind of gets me about I'm going to throw you kind of a curveball here, with social media coaching and social media consultants is you're an awesome guy and you're very unique and you're very personable and you're great to have a conversation with. But how do you teach that? How do you teach uniqueness in conversation and how to be a social person? LeBron James can teach me how to play basketball, but I'm not going to play basketball as well as LeBron James. So what is the process that you use in coaching your clients to adopt, not only adopting social media, but helping them find their voice and become successful?
Really, with most people, I start at what they're really passionate about and what they really what really makes who they are. Because a lot of people don't really they're not really sure how to do this or what they're really about. They jump into Twitter and Facebook a lot of people just to make a quick buck and all that stuff. So I think it's really important to have a purpose beyond just making money. You need to have some sort of passion about what you do and really know what you do, because really know yourself and the things that make up who you are, because that's really what matters. And that's also, people are attracted to personalities and people that are honest and, natural and just being themselves. So, that's kind of what I really talk about with them, and, help them figure out really who they are and what they're all about.
Yeah,
What
and
would
something
you?
that. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
No, I just was just to relate to what you're just talking about. What would you suggest to somebody who's not passionate but believe that it should be a part of their marketing strategy? How do you
Um,
sculpt them into utilizing social media?
Well, you can't really. I wouldn't say you can necessarily convince people to do this or that, but basically, lay everything out online and explain to them and show them how much of a difference it makes to be passionate about it, and also, really be you in your marketing and in social media. So yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, you can't really convince people. You can show them, the options, show them the way, but it's up to them what they really want to do with it. And if they just want to make a quick buck and don't really, nothing else, then there's really not much you can really do at that point.
So, do you advise them to use, like Pat's saying here in the room, Genocide 312? Um, do you use Dig, Reddit, Stumble, Buzz, or Mix, or do you mostly stick to the more popular sites for socializing, as in Facebook, YouTube, Twitter?
Yeah, I stick to the popular sites. I used to use Dig and Reddit and those sites, but I've really gotten away from them. So I mainly use, Facebook and Twitter, and of course YouTube for my videos and all that. Um, yeah.
There's something kind of interesting about how you I don't want to say stumble upon business, but something that I kind of talk about it with my business is
Sorry.
building relationships with people online, and through those relationships will come business opportunities or sale opportunities. I know through talking to you, a couple times earlier, we had talked about how you come across your business opportunities. So could you explain a little bit about the process that you go through of acquiring clients or acquiring people to coach?
Yeah, see, a lot of people think that, because I know I've talked with you about it, and I've talked with other people about it, and like just recently, I picked up about a week and a half ago, I picked up a really awesome gig managing a really popular Facebook page and building that out. So, and that was all through Twitter. But basically, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked. What was the question again?
The question was,
Sorry.
how does the process of acquiring clients or finding people to coach? Because I know you do a lot of things just through relationship building. So
Yeah,
how
yeah. But I socialize a lot. I mean, I talk with a lot of people, and really, I participate in Twitter chats, which I think are awesome. Which, if you're on Twitter, you should definitely check that out. But I mean, I just connect with as many people as I can, and also, I use Twitter lists, and I actually have, like, for finding clients and stuff on Twitter. I'll connect with someone, and I'll look at what they do and everything like that, and if there's a possibility that they could be a potential client, and I could, they could potentially work with me. What I'll do is I'll add them to a Twitter list, and what I'll do is make sure to keep in touch with them and over time, and be consistent and communicating with them. And that's really how a lot of it happens. For me, there's no secret process. It really comes down to talking with people, and not just talking with people, but really caring about them too, and not just what I call fake caring, where you're just doing it because it's a good strategy. I also do it because I really do care.
Yeah, and I think people see through that
So
too
you,
pretty easily.
yeah, I agree. You want them to be genuine. You want them to mean what they say or don't say it at all. Is that basically it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that
Uh,
philosophy. I like that.
oh, definitely. If you had if you could isolate just one moment, one defining moment that where you said, you know what, social media. This is what I want to do. I mean, I want to do social media full time. What was it? What was that tipping point for you?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think it was more than just one. I think when I first hopped into to like Twitter and Facebook, for the first few months, it was I really didn't use it that much. I was still trying to figure it out. But then I started conversing with more people, and then I just saw the at replies, and then I eventually started up my own blog, and people come from all over the place to comment on it, and so I just saw all these people coming through here with this free, absolutely free platform. So it's really a no brainer for me to really start using it, and I've been really doing that ever since.
Nice. Sounds good to me.
So
Yeah, back to you.
yeah, I was gonna say, so where do you see, the future of social media for businesses? Is it, where do you see, using Facebook, using Twitter, possibly using social location, such as Foursquare, Gowalla, or even Brightkite if they, get into the contest. But where do you see the future of social media in business?
I see a lot of social media in business. I mean, we're already starting to see, some businesses getting it. I mean, there's still quite a few, who still aren't getting it. But part of that is that a lot of them have these beliefs already about it, and so they're like, I don't want to use that. I don't want to. All they do on there is talk about what they're eating and all this stuff, and then also, uh, kind of lost my thought there. I'm so sidetracked tonight. I really see it catching on a lot more. We're already seeing that, and I mean, really, the results. It shows for itself. I mean, you can see all these businesses using it and seeing how well it's working. I mean, it's pretty no-brainer. You look at it and the results are there. So, it's really going to really be a big thing with business because I mean real-time customer support and it's just pretty phenomenal, and everything's out there right now to really show how well it's working.
And I got the $1 million question here, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. No, I'm kidding.
I don't want to hear
how are you measuring your social media success, or how are you, when you come to these clients and these coach it, or you're coaching these people, they're going to want to see some ROI, especially if they're new to social media. I constantly get, where's our return on investment going to come? What are you doing to say, hey, we can measure social media in this way, or I can show you that our social media efforts are being successful because of X, Y, or Z?
For me, when it comes to ROI, it's all about analytics. I mean, really understanding the analytics, really paying attention to them, and a bunch of different factors, really with the analytics. I think that's really what I talk about a lot. Being able, when it comes to ROI, being able to understand these numbers. Where are the people coming from, and then figuring out the conversion, because. The thing is, too, though, with social media, a lot of businesses think that they can jump right into it and they'll start being successful. But with social media, it's something that takes time before you can start seeing results. So, it's important to look at those analytics, really understand the numbers, and really also, I mean, testing is absolutely crucial. Consistently testing and tweaking over time will help you get better and better results.
Well, there's a conversation going on in the chat room right now in regards to following and followers, and should you mutually show them respect by immediately following them back, or should you weed out the ones that perhaps don't add value to your tweet, to your Twitter feed, or you won't add value to them according to what you read from their bio page? So what do you think? Do you think it's about the numbers, or do you think it's about actually having some value within interactions?
I think it's definitely with having value with the interaction. Like I originally, when I first started on Twitter, I got into the whole auto following thing, and the numbers are good, but it all comes down to the conversation. I mean, I've literally seen people, and some people don't even believe me, but I've seen people with 1,500 followers, have more conversation and actually have better results than someone with 25, 30, 40,000 followers. It's because they're just adding in these people, but then they're not connecting with them at all. So what I do is I manually follow people. I look at each Twitter profile. I look at each person, and if honestly, if what they're sharing, it's not something that's really valuable to me, I won't follow them. But also, though, I will, if people, connect with me, or if I go out and connect with somebody, then I'll most likely follow them, and because we have this relationship going.
Well, I did notice, Mike, that you're not following me. And I was very hurt by this.
Fix that.
No, I don't even know what your Twitter username is.
Yes,
Well,
you're not following me either, Mike. Look at that.
At first, I thought maybe he just didn't know, but then you made your comment as far as about the food part, and I tweet a lot about food. I think my last tweet was actually just had like the best pizza I've had in months, man, and the oysters were meh, but the veal parmesan hero was awesome, or something like that. I'm that guy. I admit it. I'm ashamed.
Well, no. See, there's nothing wrong with talking about what you're eating, but if that's like the majority of what you're talking about, then
Mike,
that's totally different.
I'm sorry. I was just messing with you. Everybody started getting too serious.
Yeah, I know.
We get serious with this food joke. Back to you, Jeff.
Back to you, Jeff.
That's a good one,
And I'm
JD.
following you now, Mike, by the way. I just followed you.
Okay, well, I'll think about following you back.
So what do you have planned for the future here, Mike?
Really, right now, I'm transitioning. Well, I've completely transitioned a lot away from the whole consulting thing, and I'm really focusing on creating a social media course. Something that people can buy online and really take their time with it and really consume it that way, because I like myself, I can only leverage myself so far. If I speak an hour with this person, that's that. But with a course, I can get out more and more information and get that information out to a larger group of people. And so I'm working on that. I'm hoping to have that out in the next few months. And the thing I'm looking at too with the course is there's already several courses out there. So I've kind of got to look too at a way of bringing something not necessarily wouldn't say completely different, but something that it will actually be 100% valuable and really something that'll be unique too, that people can really use and really take advantage of, and all in all do really well with it.
Well, I think you should, for every complimentary purchase of your course, throw in a pink hat.
That's actually a decent idea. That's a good idea.
Hey, not only you're branding yourself, but you're spreading it out over different people. You'll always have that pink hat.
I'm gonna have to write that down.
Yeah, that's good.
Real
Write
quick,
it
I
down.
just want to make a note. It's funny that you say that again, Mike. There's a lot of coincidences today, because I think it was either yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. I was telling somebody. Somebody was like, "Yeah, they said I was getting pitched by these guys for social media, and they said that their stuff is totally different from everybody else." And I kept thinking to myself, well, if theirs is totally different, either theirs doesn't work or everybody else's doesn't work. Because if theirs is totally different, then that would mean that what's different from theirs is wrong. So I'm glad to hear you say, it's not completely different. The courses, there are certain generalities in social media that if you're going to be teaching it, training it, coaching it, showing people how to using it and applying it for business purposes, certain things are pretty much universal. Other things, there's debate, and you can change techniques and change styles. But to say that I'm completely different, we take our Facebook page and we flip it upside down, and everything that we do, all of our Facebook updates are written backwards. It's like nuts. Anyway, I just appreciate hearing you say that, because that's very good stuff. Jeff, take us home.
Yeah, well, we'd like to thank Mike for being our guest on the show tonight. We've unfortunately ran out of time, but maybe sometime down the road we'll definitely try to have you back on the show and see how you're doing and see how the course that you've built is coming along and see if you've thrown in some pink hats. So thanks, Mike,
All
for
right.
coming on the show tonight, man.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
Mike.
Yes, thank you very much, Mike. And we'd also like to thank our audience, everyone that joins us every week for the live shows. You guys are awesome. Also, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, that's cool too. So thanks for watching no matter how you are. We'd like to also thank our sponsor, Hot Hardware. And please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Just go to each of those sites with the .com/socialblade, and you'll find us there. When you're visiting our blog, socialblade.com/show, we have lots of news stories we're posting there. As we mentioned during the show this week, we had that Facebook facts story. So check it out. We post articles at least once every other day, I think, on there. So a lot of news stories. When you're on the blog as well, if you have a guest you would like to suggest, just like Mike here, you think you know someone that would be great, please, up in the top of the show page, there's a little place that says suggest a guest. Fill out the form there and let us know why your friend would be a great person to join us. And if works out, we'll get them on. Lastly, if you go to j.mp/subus, that's SUBUS, you can sign up to get SMS alerts on your phone for whenever we go live, you'll know. Beyond that, please also remember to check out the 3 other web shows that we recommend. Ask Outcast, Band on the Web, both of those on Tuesdays at 8 and 10 p.m. Eastern, respectively. And then The Drill Down, Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. And, yeah, have a great week. And remember, as always, we are Social Blade.